why does your opinion trump over any other people's opinion?
Right. So do you believe that there is a truth out there?
Everything is subjective, but there is a right or wrong morally, especially when you're in a cultured society that is based off a set of standards and norms that we act on and we act as.
So everything is subjective. So is it objectively true you and I are having a conversation right now?
Yes.
So that's not subjective then. So not everything is subjective.
Gotcha, bitch.
So why do you believe morals?
Right. So something is objective.
Yes, but why do you believe your subjective opinion
gonna get
trumps
there.
over other people's opinion?
Well, let me ask you another question. I'll tell you. I will answer.
Please don't interrupt me. You can. Nope. Let me finish my sentence. I do not want to hear it.
Well, guess what? You're wrong. So
But
that's
no,
fine.
you're wrong because.
They can't take being told they're wrong. She is the one that's professing that there is no right or wrong, but she is declaring he's wrong. Hi, everybody. Asagai from Drinking Gourd. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to go over a video that I saw, or I started watching, of Charlie Kirk at a college campus talking to some students, and I forget the exact topic, but I'm going to remember in just a second. But I started watching it and I knew I had to comment on it. And if you don't know who Charlie Kirk is, he does this on a regular basis. He goes around the college and speaks at college campuses and talks to the students about a variety of topics. So let's get into it.
So one thing I want to start off with is, why does your opinion trump over any other people's opinion?
Right. So do you believe that there is a truth out there?
Everything is subjective, but there is a right or wrong morally, especially when you're in a cultured society that is based off a set of standards and norms that we act on and we act as.
So everything is subjective. So is it objectively true you and I are having a conversation right now?
Yes.
So that's not subjective then. So not everything is subjective.
So why do you believe morals?
Right. So something is objective.
Yes, but why do you believe your subjective opinion trumps over other people's opinion?
Right. Well, let me ask you another question. I'll tell you. I will.
Okay, we'll start off with that. All right. Truth is not subjective. It applies to everyone and everything. There's no such thing as your truth and my truth. There's only the truth. Okay, and whether you can understand that or not is going to get you very, very far in life and in understanding things and the world around you. Understand that things are in black and white sometimes. All right, trying to gray and muddy up everything doesn't make sense, in that you can't change what is true. You can change your perception, you can change your attitude, your opinion, but you can't change what actually is true.
No, please don't interrupt me. You can. Nope. Let me finish my sentence. I do not want to hear it. You think that your opinion is over other people's opinions. You think you were right subjectively.
Okay.
What is right or wrong?
Okay. Is murder wrong?
Yes, of course.
Well, then abortion should
Not
be
in
illegal.
every case.
Answer.
What?
And I see where this is going to go, really, and that's why I had to comment on it, because logic and critical thinking has been bred out of our children. We turned our children over to the educational system, and this is what they produce. They produce automatons. They don't think for themselves. They just follow the instructions that are forced into them and what they're supposed to regurgitate, not what they truly have concluded from thinking about it, but know what their professors and what somebody has told them they're supposed to say. And they practice this speech in class, and they hear it in lectures, and they hear it constantly from other people, other students around them. So it gets ingrained in them, and they can't think for themselves. They can't see the irony or the hypocrisy behind their own thoughts and what they're saying. She says there's no definitive truth. And yet still she says that as if it's true. Well, if there's no definitive truth, then that means what you're saying is not true. I mean, doesn't that make sense?
What constitutes a human? What is a human?
Deoxyribonucleic acid and conception.
But to me, a
forming
human would be someone with a consciousness who is alive in this world.
Well,
To
guess
you,
what? You're wrong. So
but
that's
no,
fine.
you're wrong because
See, they can't take being told they're wrong. She is the one that's professing that there is no right or wrong, but she is declaring he's wrong. It hurts my brain to try and wrap my head around how people like this really don't understand the basics of sense and logic. It totally escapes her. There's so much of this. I'm actually gonna have to back up and go for it. There's so much to this.
I think that's right, and you think that's
Prove
right.
me. Prove it wrong.
What constitutes a human being? What is the definition of a human being?
And
The creation of DNA that will never exist again, and a soul goes into that moment. I don't expect you guys.
What's a soul?
A soul?
What's a soul?
What is a soul?
What is a soul?
The eternal, indistinguishable, let's just say, non-visible being of your existence.
I don't believe that. I don't believe anything is
I'm
eternal.
sorry you don't believe.
Yeah, it's funny. Me and a coworker and I were having this conversation just yesterday, and I asked him, "What makes you, you?" And we went down the line of, well, your body and your physical. I said, yes, that is true. You are the DNA that makes you up. However, what makes you an individual? Not just your DNA, okay? What is that intangible thing that makes you different from everybody else? And it's your thoughts. It's what you reason. And even with, well, people who are unconscious, as she said, a conscious being in the world. So does somebody cease to exist if they're currently unconscious? Okay, if they're just seeing black because they're knocked out, do they cease to exist? The logic doesn't hold up. She doesn't want to engage in a logical discussion, so she's going to keep talking and talking and talking and not actually listening. She's going to ask questions and never answer a question. She's always going to answer a question with a question.
And that does not make yours okay.
Yeah, you
Hold on a
your
second.
opinion isn't like
Here's the thing.
over
At some point, somebody's truth has to win. Because guess what? Your truth doesn't matter. That's
Guess
still
what?
a truth
You've had
claim.
your truth in this country for the past thousands of decades.
Thousands of decades.
Not thousands. Whatever. That's a little embarrassing. But like your truth has been the narrative of this country forever.
Has
and
it?
you think
Roe
yes,
versus
the
Wade
white
just
straight
got
male
repealed.
truth,
Abortion was legal in this country for 40 years.
And before the 40 years, what was
and
it?
crime dropped
Thankfully illegal in
40%
most states.
after it
And
went.
on top of that, do you
Became-
Oh
not
wait,
think-
hold on. Do you think abortion lowers crime rates?
Crime dropped 40% after abortion became legal.
Why is that the case?
It's called a statistic.
Who has the most abortions in America?
I tell you, I was discussing this with my son. Young people in that age range is from about, 13, 14 to the time they fully mature, around 25 for men, and I think it's 21 for women, that their brains fully mature. They're at their most dangerous. They're at their most dangerous, not just to themselves, but to everybody else, because here they are in these adult bodies, okay, and looking with hair and breasts and all this stuff, looking like they're adults, but they still have a mushy child brain. And so they think of things to do and to say and to adhere to that they can't think through. They don't think ahead. They're not adults. They're 18-year-old toddlers in their head. And we keep coddling to them instead of letting them know, no. You're the effing G. You're the fucking new guy. You don't know anything. We're the ones that we've been here. Okay? We're trying to tell you and instruct you, and you don't want to listen. And it really irritates the hell out of us. But, like I said, God has a sense of humor. Okay? So, he puts us on the opposite end. Okay? So we can see what we did to our parents. So you would think we would have learned. Let me figure out how to get through to them. But unfortunately, we're up against people who know how to exploit this. And I'm talking about the college professors that feed this bull crap into these kids' heads. Don't teach them how to think, just what to think. Okay? It's...
Woman?
Black people. Is that so? Are you trying to say the termination of blacks in the womb lower crime? That's a very racist argument.
That is not a
Okay.
You know blacks have 45% of the
Blacks.
I would suggest using African American.
blacks. What?
Sir, that's illegal.
Yeah, okay. I don't mind being called black. Technically, I'm Latino because my family, well, not really Latino. I'm mixed because my mother's side came up from South America through Costa Rica into Panama, okay? And my father's side came from the West Indies into Panama, all right? So my heritage and everything is kind of mixed up. I don't mind being called black. I'm not African American, okay? I'm an American. Get that straight. I'm an American. You're American. If you were born here, white, black, doesn't matter. You're an American. Start acting and identifying as an American because that's what you are. All this other nonsense and pronouns and other crap is unnecessary. It's meant to divide us. You're an American. Act like one. And I tell you, these kids cause my head to hurt.
Question. Sir, that's a leading question.
You guys can come up and talk if you want. Yeah, it's 95 degrees out here, man. So, yes, sir.
That's a racist. Okay.
No, you're the racist. You're the says that abortion lowers crime rates and blacks have the most abortions in the country. Yes. It's not name calling. Wait, is it not Black Lives Matter or is it African American Lives Matter? It's both. Oh, really? Okay. I said blacks. Okay.
Okay. He got him. Okay, exactly. And see, that's what I'm saying. They don't think these things through. They just open their mouth and whatever comes flying out, they believe is the most brilliant thing that's ever been said. And we, the older generation, really need to stop coddling these kids, okay? I was told, and my ex-wife, we fought about this because she screamed at me when I said to my stepson, hey, you're stupid. You can't ever call a child stupid. Don't call him stupid. He's going to think he's stupid. I was like, no, wait. You don't say and call a child stupid all the time. But you need to call a child stupid when they're acting stupid. You see, when you do something wrong the first time, you're human. When you do the exact same thing wrong the second time, maybe you weren't paying attention the first time. But when you do it the third, fourth, fifth time and you get the same results, you're stupid. Okay? You're not paying attention to life. You're an idiot. And if I don't call you out and let you know that what stupid is, that means you can't identify it when you see it. And I grew up in the Bronx. And in my growing up, you had to be able to identify stupid. Because why? Your friends would come up with some stupid ideas. And you have to be able to say, no, that's stupid. And walk away. Why? Because you follow along with stupid people and you will pay the price.
Okay, not too much, Andrew. Do you believe that you have some sort of privilege that skews your view on other people's lives? Because personally, I don't believe you could step in my shoes as a black woman and relate and understand the things. So I feel like it's not fair for you to choose what I get to do with my life because I'm a black woman in a white society.
What does being black have to do with truth?
Because there are different things that we experience,
Like what?
and my truth might not be your truth.
What, you get into college easier than I do?
What?
Affirmative action.
Yes, you get jobs and internships that white kids don't get.
Oh, poor white people.
You have entire movements dedicated to your race.
We're so like, okay.
Sir, do you remember the
Those
novel?
movements are to get riots. You're crazy. Okay, salt. Give me salt.
Oh my gosh, and what they're saying in the background, these things that they're throwing out in the background, they don't have any clue. He's right. Okay? He is absolutely right. We have skewed things so much that you are not being judged by the content of your character. You're not being judged by your grades. You're not being judged by your actions. You're being judged by your skin color. And people decide, well, we're going to hand you this. You didn't earn it. You didn't learn it. So if you didn't learn it and you didn't earn it, it's not owed to you. The debate as to why there isn't diversity in certain walks of life and certain occupations. Why aren't there more women in the corporate office? Okay, well, that's the only place really that you can go and try to be equal, because I don't see any women trying to work on an oil rig. I don't see any women trying to do all the hard jobs that build and keep this whole system running. Oh, well, they want to be police officers. Yeah, but I'm sorry, a 250-pound man against a 5'2", 120-pound woman police officer? Yeah, she's going to draw her gun more than the men. Why? Because he's going to pound her into the ground if it becomes physical. Let's face it. It's just a basic fact. Men are stronger than women. And even if she is the most trained woman, he needs one shot. Look, I've done a lot of boxing, all right? And a puncher's chance is always there. Last round, 10 seconds left. All he has to do is land one punch, and the fight's over. So let's be real about things. These kids, what the hell are we going to do with these
Do
kids?
you not believe in racism?
Of course racism exists. The Democrat Party is still alive and well.
Do you think people are racist against white people?
All the time. All the time.
That's his definition.
Affirmative
of
action is
racism.
racism against white people. Yes.
Okay.
And Asians as well.
And Asians, that's right.
So I do have a question in that sense. If
Yeah. Okay. That one kid had something very valuable to say. It is racist against Asians. Why? Because Asians outperform all the rest of us, even white people. They're highly educated, very smart, critical thinkers. And they go very far. But because they're at the head of the class and another race is at the back of the class, and people don't want to accept that. You know what? Asian culture values education and pushes their children to learn. They guide their children to learn and be excellent at what they learn. Unfortunately, not here in America, not in our culture. We throw our kids in school and forget about them. We don't pay attention to what they're being taught. We don't pay attention to the books that they're being given. We don't pay attention to anything. We trust these teachers, and now look at what they've given us. Look at what they've given us. And it's our fault because we should have been paying attention.
Affirmative action is racism. Why are most colleges predominantly white?
Why are they most predominantly white?
Why are most colleges
Wait. I'll answer this before he even says it. It's predominantly white country. Okay? Statistically, there are more whites in this country than there are anybody else. There's more whites than blacks. There's more whites than Asians. There's more whites than... So, proportionately, you're going to see more whites in a certain area, except, maybe places in the inner city and certain neighborhoods and stuff like that. But on the whole, you're going to see more white people. Why? Because there are more white people. So it's not racism. When you're looking for racism to be in everything, it will be in everything.
colleges are predominantly white?
We're a majority white country. You realize that, right? So colleges are the depiction of the nation.
Okay.
And actually, blacks on campus are disproportionate more than their population in certain areas, in certain campuses, than their population because of affirmative action.
In HBCUs? Is that
certain campuses.
Are you talking about HBCUs?
So, but let me just ask a more broad philosophical question. Why does skin color matter at all? Why should we care about it?
Because of the society we live in.
Well, hold on. But no.
You're dismissing anything that has ever happened to someone of color.
Let me ask you a
by
question.
saying that.
What can you do, or what can I do that you can't do? What law?
Explain how
Affirmative action is lowering of test standards and quota for a quota.
You're an idiot.
No, it's not. It's the way it works.
I'm gonna tell you how it works. 'Cause I read it.
It's the way it works. I'm not going to entertain.
Oh my gosh. And the arrogance that these kids have. Intellectually, they're toddlers. They don't know anything, but you give them a little bit of information, they're just enough to be dangerous. Like I said, I've done boxing, okay? And there's always some idiot that'll walk in the gym and think that they're just hot. They're it, okay? They can kick anybody's ass. And they'll go and they'll challenge. Like the toughest guy there, they'll challenge the instructor. Okay? And the instructor is going to tell you, look, I'm going to do you a favor. And I'm going to take the first year guy. Guy has just been doing this for maybe a couple of months. Okay? I'm going to put you in there with him as a challenge. Okay? For your challenge. And you know what happens? That kid that's been doing boxing for a few months wipes the floor with the idiot that walked in the door. Why? Because he doesn't know anything. He don't understand. This is a chess match. Okay? Life and boxing. It's a chess match. It's not people throwing punches at each other. It's thinking in there the entire time while you're under stress. If you can't think in a boxing ring, you're getting knocked out. Okay? It doesn't matter how big and strong you are. You're getting knocked out. So, these kids have the arrogance. They really think that they're the intellectual giants. He has the nerve to call Charlie Kirk dumb. But, I tell you.
Fallacies.
No,
Tell me,
you
why?
irritate me because I
Just let him talk. We have to hear your fallacy.
Why does skin color matter?
Let him talk. Well, don't
I
call him an idiot.
believe skin
Be
color
respectful.
matters
He's being
because of the
respectful to you.
society
He's not
we
being
are
respectful.
in.
Do you know how
And
this
I guess
shit
it
works?
goes
It's called
into critical
rights.
race theory.
Removing
Yes, it
rights
is.
Because of the
disrespectful.
society we have
I'll
lived
do it
in,
too.
race is a factor. If from the beginning.
Hang on a second. I'm going to have to back up because the kid in the background is yakking. I'm trying to find what she's saying or follow what she's saying. And I'm going to back that up a second.
Color matter.
Let him talk. Well, don't call him an idiot.
I believe skin
Be
color
respectful.
matters
He's being
because of the
respectful to you.
society
He's not
we
being
are
respectful.
in.
Do you know how
And
this
I guess
shit
it goes
works? It's
into
called
critical
rights.
race theory.
Removing
Yes, it
rights
is.
Because of the society we have lived
I'll do it
in,
too.
race is a factor. If from the beginning of time race wasn't a factor, and there was never anybody who was oppressed because of their race, I feel like it would not play a part in anything that we do. But because literally less.
Again, not allowing people to speak, not allowing the thoughts to flow. This young girl, at least she's trying to articulate what she believes and what she's thinking. She's open to listening. She's engaging. These other kids, they're just yakking and just throwing crap out there, and it's useless. We're only halfway through this. I think I'm going to have to make a part 1 and 2 with this because I need a smoke break. But here's what I'm going to tell you guys to do. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. Okay, hit the notification buttons. I'm going to be coming out with more videos. It's just too much. So, Charlie Kirk. I'm going to leave it right here. I'm going to mark where I am so I can come back to it. I really need you to comment and let me know, what do we do? What do we do? How do we get through to these kids? Because life is going to kick their ass. It's really going to, once they get out of there and they face life, it's really going to kick their ass. And we have to help, or we're doomed with them. So, like, share, subscribe, comment, okay? And I'm going to see you next time.